All right. I think we are officially live on this Monday morning. It is December 14th, the time that I am doing this live. If you're watching this on the replay, welcome. And if you're watching this on the replay like a month or two from now, Happy New Year, if that's when you're watching. But today, I'll just give you a little brief kind of description of what we're going to be talking about here today. And that is how to discover and validate your niche in 2021. And I'm going to go through 3 steps in doing this. I think it's really important for anyone that is either in the discovery phase or stuck or thinking to themselves, I want to take my niche and go a little bit deeper or a little bit more narrow. How do I do that? So we're going to go through these 3 steps and we'll go ahead and walk through that, but we'll also talk through it. So if you have any questions, by all means, drop them in the comments. What I'm going to do here first, before we do get officially kicking this morning talk, this coffee talk off, I want to make sure, is my stream okay today? We had a little bit of a technical difficulty the other day. So if you guys could let me know in the comments that are here live, let me know if I'm coming through clear, if you can hear audio good, if you can see video clean and clear. We had a little bit of an issue here the other day, and I want to make sure before we officially kick this off that we're ready to go. And yeah, then we'll kick this thing off. And on Wednesday, this coming Wednesday, I already got my topic on that one. You're going to see a little bit of a theme here. The next one that we're going to do on Wednesday is going to be email list building and marketing in 2021. Best practices. So we're going to talk about that. And then on Friday, haven't decided yet on that. If you guys have any suggestions, what you would like the Friday jam session to be themed around, go ahead and drop that in the comments. And I would love to hear your thoughts so we can go ahead and get that thing off and running on Friday. All right. So again, I want you guys to think of this, though, in your own market. If you have your market already selected, if you're building, if you're growing, what I am doing right now is I am preparing for 2021. I know that people that are either listeners or people that show up to these, they're thinking 2021, right? So you should do this in your own niche, all right? And that is, let people know that you're thinking about not last year necessarily, you're thinking about the future. What is the future? Well, right now, today, we're going to be talking about niche discovery and validation. It's a critical piece. I know that, so I'm bringing attention back to it. We're going to go through these 3 steps, all right? And we're going to talk about them. Are they different than they were in 2020? Are they, is it going to be better? Is it going to be easier? What are we going to do to build our brand? Has that changed? So I'm going to walk you through those 3 steps. So this way here, if you are stuck in this niche discovery, validation, little hamster wheel where you can't get off because you just keep going over it. Like, oh, I think this is good. I don't know if this is good. I think I've got it right. I want to get you past that, because the minute we get you past that, we can get you taking action. If we get you taking action, guess what? We start to see results, right? Or at least we get some momentum and we start to kind of get in that routine. That's what we're going to do here. All right. So today is going to be 3 steps to finding and validating your niche in 2021. All right, so before we do kick that off officially, let me go ahead and make sure that everything is cool here. We got Phil in the house. What's up, Phil? John, what's up, John? Good morning. Stream looks great. Phil says all seems great today. That's awesome. What's up, Ruth? Good to see you. Good morning. Happy Monday. Yes, I can hear and see you clearly. That's good. Here is an anonymous good morning Facebook user. Thank you for that. And Salamas, yes, can hear you loud and clear. Take a sip. And that's what I love about Salma. She's always telling me to take that sip of coffee, because this is a coffee talk. This is what we call our morning coffee talks. So if you guys are new, and if you are just tuning in, or if you're watching the replay, this is what we do Monday, Wednesday, Friday, 10 a.m. Eastern time. And if you want to join us on a regular basis, head on over to takeactioncrew.com. Again, that's takeactioncrew.com. And you'll see this amazing player there that is more than just a player. It's actually a search function that's built into it that transcribes every single word that I say, and it will find all of the different mentions of a topic that you're interested in. So if you're talking about list building, email, what am I trying to say? Lead magnets, landing pages, Facebook ads, digital product creation, any of that stuff. If you put a little search in there, it's going to find all of the videos, all of the coffee talks that we've talked about that, and it's going to help you go right to that spot. So it's going to save you some time. So takeactioncrew.com. All right. So with that being said, what do you say? Let's get kicking this thing off. All right. So like I said, today I want to really make it crystal clear on what it will take to, number one, discover a niche, a good niche, and then how to validate that it's a good niche, right? We can sit here and think of all of the different niches that we can go into, but the ultimate thing that we need to do is we need to validate that it's actually a good niche. And there's some different things that we need to look at, okay? And that's what I'm going to be going through here in this little session here that we're doing, okay? So I'm going to get right to it. So the very first thing is, and oh, by the way, there's like 3 steps that I'm going to be doing this, okay, through. Now, in these steps, there's some other little steps that are in there, but they're really just cross checks. It's how do we validate through this entire process? And then how do we come out at the other end and know that there's this potential and we feel really, really confident after we've done this, okay? Because we don't really know for sure ever, but we can find clues. We can look at other competitors in that space. We can look at all of these different things to at least let us know that if we put in the time, the effort, that there's a good chance that we can build this thing to be a successful, profitable brand. Okay. And that's what we're ultimately here to do. So 3 steps to finding and validating your niche in 2021. All right. So number 1, discovery. So there's really 3 areas that I see niches being discovered. Okay. Or categories, if you want to call them that. Okay. So number 1 is, and this one's an obvious one, is a hobby. So if you have a hobby and you really enjoy that hobby, well, why don't you look and see if that is something that can be turned into a profitable brand? Is that a niche that you could turn into a profitable brand? Okay. So a hobby. So what I would do is I would sit down. If I'm at this stage, I am going to start thinking through all of the things that I'm interested in. Okay. So for me personally, right now, it would be guitar. Okay. And I've talked about this, in the past. Now I've played guitar. I still play guitar, but I've been thinking, actually, one of my goals, I think, for 2021 is going to be to start practicing my guitar on a regular basis. Number 1, it's something that I want to do that I haven't made time for. Okay. Number 2 is I want to get better. I'm not that great. I mean, I'm okay. I can play. I was in a band and stuff, but I know I've got room to grow. And also the third thing is it allows me to de-stress. It allows me to do something that I truly enjoy. So while I'm doing that, I could be writing content about it. I could be shooting videos about it. I could be doing all this stuff, but in my head, I got to say, is it really worth it? Because is there traffic there? Is there money being made there? How would I make this thing actually happen? But it starts with the idea or the niche that you're considering. So in this case, it's a hobby. Another example of a hobby would be bass fishing. I talk about that a lot. It could be, maybe it's dirt biking. Maybe you love dirt bike riding, right? Or motocross, or X Games, that type of stuff. Maybe you love skateboarding. Maybe you love mountain biking. Maybe you love running. Whatever it is that you are going to be able to show up on a regular basis, because that's the other thing. If we can find a niche that we are truly interested in, it will be easier because we're going to stay interested in it longer, right? If we're just going to build a business, which I am doing right now, actually inside of the Academy, Brand Creators Academy, there's 2 niches that we're building out as case studies. One of them I have no interest in. Okay. I'm not into this niche, but I know it's a good niche. So my idea was if I can build something and then turn it into $1,000 passively a month, that would be like a piece of rental property that would bring me in that money, right? So that's kind of where I'm going with that. Now there's another one, which we're about to reveal inside of the Academy, probably by the 1st of the year. That one's more of an interest. It's more of something that my wife and I are both interested in. It's what we're currently doing. And it is somewhat, I would say, hobbyish, but it's also an interest. It's fun. So I'm not going to give it away, but it will allow us to want to show up and put the energy in, right? And I think that's a big one. Now, if you're just starting and you can't find that, it's okay to say, I'm just going to use this as a learning experience. Okay. So again, hobby is one area that you could explore. The next one is an interest of yours. So you might be interested in learning more or becoming, maybe it's speaking Spanish or another language. Maybe that's it. Maybe you just want to learn 8 different languages. Well, maybe you're going to build a brand that's all about how to learn a language. Okay. So that could be something of interest to you. Okay. It could be, maybe you want to take up woodworking. Okay. It's a hobby. Yes, but it's something you've never done before. So it's an interest of yours. Now it doesn't have to be a hobby. It could just be an interest of yours, right? Maybe your interest is to, after you've turned 40, your interest is, I want to be able to get in shape when I'm over 40. And I'm sure there's other people that would want to know that too. That's my interest. Okay. Could you say it's a hobby? I don't know. You could, I guess, but it's more of an interest. Okay. And the third one is expertise. There could be something right now, and there probably is, that you either get asked about on a regular basis by friends, maybe colleagues, like whoever, and they ask you because they know that you are good at something. And so they're going to probably pick your brain. They're going to ask you questions. That's expertise. You have expertise. Okay. I know we go to the horse farm. We lease a horse there. My wife has owned a horse in the past. But there's a lot of things that she doesn't know about this certain style of horse and this style of riding. So she'll go there and just someone will be walking by and she'll just pull them to the side. And that person has expertise on, this style of horse riding, so you have to look at what you know, and there's probably something there that you could teach others. Now, you might not be interested in it. And that's okay. You can still build a brand if you want to, but if you do have an interest, it's going to help you when you're just repeating things over and over again, because it starts to get monotonous. Okay. When you're starting to write content, you're starting to find keywords, you're starting to build an email list, you're communicating with the email list. If you don't have that interest, it is a little bit harder to show up. I'm not saying it can't work. I'm just saying it could be a little bit harder for you. You'll lose interest. Okay. But when it gets fun is when you start to see results, and then you're like, oh, well, I've got interest in the results, so why not, right? So the first step here in this process, before we can do any validation, before we can do any proof, we need to identify a niche, okay? And then the funny thing is once you understand the validation process, then all of a sudden, it seems like you got niches coming at you in all different, areas. Heck, I'm drinking coffee right now. There's coffee snobs out there. Right? There's all different kinds, right? There's people that want to test different beans, and there's, different lattes and cappuccinos and all of these different style espressos, like all of this stuff. And there's people that only want the certain bean and the certain this. You could sit there and talk about that if that was something of interest to you, right? So, while we're doing that, by the way, if you're listening to this on the podcast, if this airs on the podcast, I'm going to take a sip of coffee right now because this is our coffee talk. All right, moving on. So now that we've got our niche kind of in sight, right? We have a target. We have our target. We know that we want to look into that. Now, just because we've identified a niche doesn't mean that it's going to work. All right, that's the key here. Just because you identified a niche does not mean it's going to work. All right, so now we got to move into the next 2 steps. And these are going to help us validate that it does have the potential to grow into something to where we want to take it. Now, the other thing is you gotta ask yourself, am I building this brand to replace my income? Or am I replacing this brand as something I want to do on the side to bring in an extra $1,000, right? If you do that, when you're in the validation stage, you can look at it and go, well, as long as I can see that I can see the road, the path to $1,000 a month, then I'll go for it. That's fine. But if you are looking to get to where it's generating $10,000 a month and you can't really find the path, might not be the right niche, right? So that's why it's really important that you also know what your target is when you're, going down this road. Okay. So again, once we have it in our sites, we know what the niche is that we want to now take to the next step, which is traffic. Okay. So there's two more steps. The next one is traffic. Okay. Without traffic, you're not going to be able to make any money. Okay. Bottom line, if there's no traffic, no money. Okay. Because who's going to buy it? Right. And I mean, traffic could be 10 people that could buy it. Right. But we need to look at the traffic numbers, because if we look at the traffic numbers, we look at the potential of that traffic. Now we can start to gauge percentages. Okay. And go, oh, well, if there's that many people there, how much does an ad network pay for 1,000 people that come to my site? I can do the math now. How many people, if I sold 10 items to a day, would that equate to? Right? That's going to move into step 3, which is the monetization. But step 2 is the traffic. We need to see that there's enough traffic there for us and other people, because we're not looking for us to be the only ones here. That's another mistake a lot of people make. They're sitting here saying to themselves, I want to be first to market. It could work. It's very risky, right? We want to be able to say, hey, that person did it. That person did it. That person did it. There's 10 people ranking for this keyword. Let me see how I can level up, and how can I get some of that position? How can I get some of that traffic? That's what I'm going to be asking myself. Okay. If it looks like it's dominated with all of these high authoritative sites, might not be the best niche, but we first have to see, is there enough traffic? So step 1 in the validation for traffic is how much traffic. Okay. And one easy way to do this is to just use the free tool Ubersuggest and just do a quick search. And you're going to see the number of searches for certain keywords. Now, one other thing is if you're looking at just bass fishing, you might put in bass fishing, and it might say it gets 60,000 searches a month, which is okay, but that's not really what we're looking for. What we're looking for is, can I identify a website or multiple websites that are getting over 60,000 or 70,000 or 100,000? I want to take the bass fishing, and I want to find a website that has focused all of their energy on bass fishing. And then I'm going to take their website and I'm going to look and see how much traffic their website's getting. And then I can have a good gauge of what I could expect in the future. I can also look through their content, see how they're getting their traffic. I can see how they're getting their backlinks. I can see how, they're building an email list once I go to their website, if they are. So all of these things I can see now, right? So it starts with, yes, bass fishing, but who is publishing on a regular basis around bass fishing? Find the websites and then start to see what those numbers are. Now, the question I'll get all the time is, well, how much traffic, Scott? It's not so much about okay, if I find sites that are only getting 12,000, 15,000, that's not going to be enough for me, okay? Because my first goal here is to get enough traffic to where I could turn on an ad network and have that running in the background to where I'm making $400, $500, $1,000 a month on basically a recurring revenue basis, in a sense, because all I'm doing is getting paid for the impressions that are coming to my site or from my site. That's it. Okay. So if I can't get, let's say 30,000 page views a month, I don't even want to play then. Okay. Cause at 30,000, I can probably get to $500 a month. Okay. And I actually know that right now, because in one of our niches that we're doing as a case study, we're at about 430 right now, and we're just under 30,000 page views. Now that will fluctuate with the what they call the RPM, which is basically your per thousand, how much they're willing to spend per thousand. That's not important right now. What's important is, I would say, if you're struggling to find sites that are getting 50,000 page views a month, I would probably pass. But also, you got to know that we're not just looking at bass fishing. We're looking at all of the keywords that come into play for bass fishing. And that's where if you find a website, we can then look and see what are all of the different keywords that they're getting ranked for. That's the potential. And I like to see some that are getting 100,000, 300,000, and multiple ones. That means that, Position number 2 is getting 100,000. Maybe even position number 4 is getting more because they're ranking for all of these other long tail keywords. Okay. But the bottom line is traffic. We need to identify the traffic that's coming, and we need to validate that it can be it can be found out there, and it can be done. Okay, that we can do it. Okay, yes, we're gonna have to put the work in, but we just want to validate that the traffic is there if we are able to get our content ranked. Bottom line. Okay, so that's just Google. Then what we'll do is we'll head on over to YouTube. We'll check on YouTube. We'll see what kind of traffic is over there. And then we'll hop over to Pinterest. We'll see, is there Pinterest boards and groups and stuff over there? So we want to look at those 3 areas. And the reason why I'm looking at those 3 isn't that I'm going to do all 3. It's that I'm validating that the traffic is out there. Okay. And the other reason why I'm looking at those 3 is those 3 are what I call evergreen traffic channels. Meaning if you post a piece of content on Google, it lives on forever. You can get traffic today, 6 months from now, 6 years from now. Okay. Same thing with YouTube. It's search-based content. Pinterest, same thing. It's evergreen. Once you have a pin on there, it lives on. And if someone searches on Pinterest for something, you can show up. So those are 3 traffic sources I look for validation, but also where I would potentially start building my traffic channels. Okay. So Google, YouTube, Pinterest. Okay. That's traffic. Staying in traffic, another thing that I would do is I would go to Facebook and I would type in my niche, and then I would start looking for Facebook groups, Facebook pages, and I would start to identify how many people are in these groups and pages just to give me a little bit more of a sense of the size of the market, okay, of the niche. And then the next thing I would do in this traffic validation piece is I would start to see, and you might already know this just because you know that you have, join someone's email list in this niche, is I would see, are there list building opportunities? Because I want to build a list in my niche, whether it's right away or whether it's a year later. I want to know that I have the potential to build an email list. Okay. And a way that you can do this is once you start to see these different websites that are already doing it, or that are already building a brand in this niche, we can start to say, oh, are they collecting emails? And if they are, what are they using for their lead magnet, right? Can I do a better job? Okay. So I just want to validate that. So again, number 1, discovery, hobby, interest, expertise. Those are 3 different areas that I would explore to find my niche. Number 2, we're going to validate the traffic. And we're going to do that by Google, YouTube, Pinterest, Facebook groups, pages, list building opportunities. Okay. Then we're going to move into the next step, which is the revenue. We're going to validate revenue, because we can have all the traffic in the world, but if we can't turn it into money, then it doesn't really benefit us from putting in the time and the energy to building out this thing, right? I mean, that's ultimately what you want, is this thing to be a business, a brand, right? That you can actually make some money. So what are we going to do here? Well, there's 3 different areas, okay? And this is usually what you're going to do in the very beginning. And there's ways that we can speed up this process. But if we are looking for the future potential of revenue opportunities, I'm looking at these 3. So number 1 is ad networks. So again, once I find these websites that are in my niche that I'm able to look at their traffic numbers, I'm able to look at their content, I'm able to see if they're building an email list, if they're doing social on Facebook or Pinterest or any of that stuff, I'm also going to notice and take notice that they're running ad networks. They're going to be running Ezoic, or they're going to be running Mediavine, or maybe AdThrive. And while I'm doing the research and I'm looking at their website, I'm going to notice if there's ads being run. And if they are, I'm going to look at the network. You can see the little network. They have it down in the bottom, usually left or right, and it'll say Mediavine, or it'll say Ezoic, or it'll say AdThrive. And then I know, well, if they're getting more than 50,000 page views a month, they're on Mediavine, right? Even if the numbers on Ubersuggest are low, which they usually are, by the way, then I know if they're running Mediavine, they have to have at least 50,000 page views. Okay. If they're running AdThrive, I know that they got to be having at least 100,000 page views. I know that. Okay. So it's another way to cross-check that, but also to get excited that, wow, once I get enough traffic, I can turn on Ezoic with 10,000 page views and start getting some money coming in the door. And then once I graduate to 50,000, I can turn on Mediavine. And then once I get to 100,000, I can turn on AdThrive. Okay. And we're talking going from one platform to the other. It might be, instead of getting $12 per 1,000 visitors, that's a good rate. It's pretty good, $12 to $15. Going to AdThrive, you can get as high as $25, $28, maybe even $30. Okay. And then your income doubles, and all you did was change the network, but you got the traffic. Okay. You got the traffic. All right. So ad networks, big one. Ezoic, Mediavine, AdThrive. That's the three in order. Okay. The next thing is are there products being offered on these websites, and are they Amazon affiliate links? It's very simple to see this, right? If you see that they're talking about products or doing product reviews, then they are most likely, an affiliate for those. And the way that you can do that is you just hover over the link and then look in the bottom left of your browser window, and you'll see a short link there. And that usually means that they're an affiliate. They're using an affiliate link. Okay. And they also have to have a disclaimer on their website that would say that. It'll either be in their sidebar, it'll be at their bottom footer, or sometimes it's even just right at the top of their post. Okay. So Amazon, you're not going to get a ton of money from Amazon sales. I mean, they reduced their their percentage here recently, which kind of sucks, but it's something, right? It's something. We just had on one of our niches that we're building out as a case study, we do not sell generators, by the way. Okay. But we sold a $3,000 generator and made $85 from that sale. And we do not sell generators. But how did we get that? Because they clicked over from one of our product reviews. It led them to Amazon. They might not have purchased the product that led them over there. It might have been a $13 product. But while they were there, they either were buying the generator or they already had it in their cart. And that's how Amazon works with their affiliate program, is for 24 hours, you're cookied. So Amazon products. Okay. Now, the other thing to think about is if there are products being sold, physical products, you can either private label them if you want to go down that road, or you can find other brands that are selling, not even on Amazon, and you can become an affiliate for their products. And sometimes 10%, 20%. Okay. So that's another thing to keep an eye out for. But the simple way is to be an affiliate for Amazon or eBay or Etsy. They all have affiliate programs. Okay. Depending on your market, you would pick one that would best fit your niche. All right. So Amazon products is where I would start. And then the last one right now, and the one that I would focus on, is digital products. Okay. If you are looking at your niche and you're looking at websites, pay attention. Are they promoting digital products, whether they're their own or someone else's? It could be a digital ebook. It could be a digital course. It could be a BarkBox for dogs, right? Are they doing some type of monthly thing every single month that you could get on, that you could sign up as an affiliate for? That would be amazing. If you can find a recurring membership that's tied to your niche that people would sign up for, and you start publishing content around that automatically leads them over there to sign up, and they have an affiliate product or a promotion there, or the ability to be an affiliate, you can start getting recurring revenue without you having to produce the product. Okay. And I think BarkBox is a great example of that. And I'm sure they have an affiliate program. But you might only get 5% of that, but that's every month. Every month you would get that. Okay. So that's another thing that you can do with digital products. But creating your own, you own everything there. Your margins are going to be almost 100%. The only cost you're going to have is hosting the digital product, which doesn't take anything, and you can host it on Dropbox for free. Or you can use ConvertKit if you have your account set up there for capturing your emails. You can host it there and deliver it there. It doesn't really cost you anything. It costs you your time to create it, or having someone else create it. Digital products is a great thing to add as soon as you can, right? So ad network's going to take a little bit of time. The affiliate product stuff, that can happen immediately. You can start creating content around that, and creating a digital product can happen within 30 days. Okay. So that stuff is what I would do first. But we got to validate that it's even possible. Because if we validate that it's possible, then we know what we're able to do. It doesn't mean we're going to do it all right now. We just need to know that the potential is there so we can grow this thing into something to meet our goals, right? And that could be $1,000 a month. It could be $5,000 a month. It could be $10,000, $20,000 a month. You just have to then base your criteria off of that. And what type of proof are you getting from this validation process? So let's kind of run through this one more time. Number one, discovery. If you do not know what niche that you want to go into, or if you have another one that you're thinking about going into and you already have your brand going right now, start thinking about your hobby, your interest, your expertise. Number two, we're going to move into validating it. We're going to validate the traffic. That's step number two. We're going to look on Google, YouTube, Pinterest. Use Uber Suggest to help you with this. Facebook groups and pages. We're going to look at list building opportunities. That's all done in the validation stage, okay, in the traffic validation stage. And then in step three, it's validating the revenue potential, all right? Ad networks, we're going to look into that. Amazon products or just physical products in general. And then we're going to look at digital products. And another thing you can do for digital products is go to ClickBank. ClickBank is a digital product marketplace. You can go there, type in your niche, and see if there's any products being created right now and if they're being sold. And that's something you could also promote, by the way, on your website if you want to. You can be an affiliate for them. And usually they're going to pay you anywhere from 40 to 60% commission, which is pretty high. So that's what I would do there. All right. So those are the 3 steps. All right. And in 2021, I am seeing as much opportunity as there's ever been, if not more, because I think more people are going to be online consuming content and buying products, period. Okay. With last year, 2020, with everything that went on, pandemic, everything that we had to deal with, businesses all going online, being forced to go online, us being forced to buy groceries online, which we never did before, really. I mean, we did, but not as much as we do now, right? So people are being trained and conditioned to do more online consuming of content and shopping. So I believe the opportunity is greater than ever. And I really think that anyone that wants to publish and they want to find good long tail keywords in the very beginning, you got a shot. And build an email list, 500 subscribers. And we go over that in our email list building fast track workshop, show you exactly how to do that. Then build a digital product in that niche. So we can speed up that process by building an email list and building a digital product. But we want to also make sure that we build our home base, our foundation, and then start publishing some content. So when we start emailing our list, we have some stuff to send them, okay? And we can send them our digital product offer, okay? So that's what I got for you here today, all right? 3 steps to finding and validating your niche in 2021. The biggest thing here I see people getting stuck on is this right here. They overthink this process and they want to know that, you know what, I wanna play, but I just don't know if it's going to work. I'll tell you what, if you go through this process, you have a much greater chance of seeing what can happen if you put in the work rather than just guessing. Okay. And I've seen it time and time again. And there's way more opportunity out there than you can even take advantage of. And you shouldn't, because then you're going to become overwhelmed. But if you just sit down, break it down, keep it simple. That's why inside of Brand Creators Academy, we have 5 stages that we go through. And that's it. And then we just keep working on those stages. Okay. And we just keep building and growing over time. And we build momentum over time. All right. So that's what I got for you here. 3 steps to finding and validating your niche in 2021. If I was you, if you're struggling here, I would sit down, go back, listen to this again, get out a notepad and start going through this process. If you want help with that, you can always head over to brandcreatorsacademy.com. You can apply to join us there, where we actually will help you. We have a 30-day roadmap. And then from there, we have 5 stages that we walk you through every step of the way, plus support, mentorship, all of that inside of our community. All right. So brandcreatorsacademy.com. All right. So with that all being said, let's answer some questions if we have any. Let me go ahead and jump over into the comments. see what we got here. What's up, Kate? Good morning. Oh, Octavio's in the house. What's up? Audio and video is great. Awesome. Akabar, I think that's how you say it. Hey, Scott, long time since I've been in one of these. Hope you guys are well. Thank you. Yes, very well. And you also had a question here. Hi, Scott. I find that my niche has a lot of sales and traffic exists, but it's not crazy high. It is a product that people just buy. They don't need much content being created around it. It is very specific with a large industry, so I could create posts around different parts of the industry as well, but it's highly competitive. But as for the product I want to sell, it is its own standalone niche, but the traffic is not that high. So is there any sub niches that you could go into? Is there any other areas that you can go into? So an example would be, fishing, and then we have bass fishing, we have fly fishing, we have deep sea fishing, right? You have all of these different ones. Can you go into another sub niche that would also bring attention over that could be related to the main niche? So that's where I would look. What's up, Karen? Best way to find out exactly how much traffic competitor is getting in Uber Suggest? Yeah, type in their website. That's it. Just type in their website and it will get, now, again, that's going to be low. So it's not going to give you all of their traffic. It's going to give you just their organic traffic, which means basically keywords that people are keying in and searching for. That's it. Okay. Which is still a good number to look at, but just know that that's usually low. Okay. And then let's see. How do you know for sure that competitors are not getting enough traffic because of lack of market or their market abilities? Well, again, there's not going to be, you're not going to find those people if you're doing a search and you're finding on page one a website over and over and over again for different keywords, and their traffic on their main website is really low, that would be an indicator that that niche is probably not big enough. Okay. So that's what I would look at. But if you're looking at like one niche that you just thought of, or I'm sorry, a website that you just thought of, and then you key in their website and you look at their traffic and you're like, oh, this market doesn't get anything. That's not true. I would start by looking at the market, right? How to catch bass in a pond, right? And so then what I would do is I would find the websites that are coming up in the top 10, and I would start to go down the list and looking at their traffic and their content on what's bringing that traffic. But if I did that search and I'm finding that, the traffic is just super low, then I might try a different keyword to bring the other websites. But if I can't find any, then that's an indicator that there's just not enough traffic. Let's see here. Good morning, Kay. Let's see. Akbar, the product is a niche that is pretty straightforward and has no sub niches, but it is part of a much larger industry, the fitness industry. Yeah, I can't really help you unless I knew the exact situation, but I understand what you're saying, but it sounds like you've built a business around a product, and that's actually really something that does make it hard. Because if it's just a product, someone buys it, they're done. They don't need any more. They don't need anything else. It makes it hard. So now we're looking at like a widget. And when we have a widget, yes, we can sell a lot of it maybe, but then what? It makes it hard for us to advertise, to spend money on advertising. It makes it hard that we can't build out our content on our site to bring in people from all different searches. So it does make it hard. So I could perhaps relate my product to diet. I also want to introduce mental well-being in relation to fitness and see if that is something become much more important, especially at the end of 2020. Yes, I do. I do think that's a great idea, that if you just attack it from different angles, right, that would lead to, I'm just going to throw this out there. Let's just say kettlebell, right? Your kettlebell could be for someone that wants to lose weight, someone that wants to do physical rehabilitation. Kettlebell could be for someone over 40 that wants to get in shape. It doesn't mean that thing is only for that person, but as I'm showing you how to lose weight over 40, I'm going to say, and one good way of doing that is to use weights. And one simple thing to use, and anyone can get one, and they're so easy, is a kettlebell, right? See what we did there? We brought the angle in, and then we led to a product that, yes, you could say the kettlebell could be used for a power lifter, right? But we don't want to talk about that. We want to talk about the other. Akabar. Yeah, let's not do that right now. But you know what? If you wanted to, I had mentioned this, I am going to be doing some kind of like public little coaching calls on the podcast. If you're interested in that, message me, private message me through Facebook, or you can just send me an email, scott@brandcreators.com. And what we can do is we can set up a call and you and I can just dig through and we can share what we're doing here. And I think that's very helpful for you, but it's helpful for anyone else. So we can drill down and see if there's any other opportunities there. And there might not be, but it'd be a good call. So if you're interested in that, let me know and we could totally do that. But that's pretty much going to wrap up today's Coffee Talk. We will be back here on Wednesday, and Wednesday we're going to be talking about email list building and email marketing in 2021 and the best practices. So if you guys have any questions on that or this, again, just drop it in the comments. But what I would say is if you are interested, and let me see here if I've got it. If you're interested in joining us in the Academy, it is by application. It's not a long application. We just need to see if it's the right fit for you right now. If you're interested in joining us, just head over to brandcreatorsacademy.com and you'll go there and you can see the information there that what we do and how we help people. But I am just so excited for 2021. Our group is amazing. It seems like it gets stronger and stronger. Our community, it just, they're helping each other. They're helping us. And it's just a really, really great community. And we are looking to really take it to the next level in 2021. So if you're at all interested and you need help and you want, like I said, step-by-step, whether you're just starting, whether you're taking your brand to the next level, whether you're just starting building your email list and you want to jump on a call and you want us to help you on a monthly basis, actually 2 monthly calls, that would be for you. All right. But again, we're not open to the public. If you're interested in joining us, just head on over to brandcreatorsacademy.com. And yeah, once we get that application, we usually review every single week. And then we reach out to a handful of people that are accepted. And then, yeah, you get invited. So let me know if you have any questions on that as well. But sure. Thanks. And that would be great. Akabar said, good. So do that for me. Let's do that. That would be fun. And then what we'll do is we'll jam on that for a little bit. We'll dig in. We'll see what we can find out. And then people can listen in to our conversation and learn from that as well. And if anyone is watching this and wants to do that themselves, just message me. Okay. Either comment here and say, yes, Scott, I would love a hot seat call or a coaching call, or just message me, scott@brandcreators.com. And then from there, if I have time on the schedule, we'll go ahead and book that. All right. So it sounds like fun. All right, guys. So that's it. That's going to wrap up this Coffee Talk. Have an amazing day, an amazing week. We're starting the week here together. And if you're listening to this on Thursday, well, then you missed the beginning of the week, but it's okay. Take it to the weekend. All right. And we'll be back here, like I said, on Wednesday. And in the meantime, if you did want to check out all of the other Coffee Talks and look at our cool player there that really is a search, it's just a searching machine that will allow you to search through all of the past Coffee Talks and really get specific on what you want the answer to. It will go to that exact spot of any Coffee Talks that we've talked about that in the past. But if you're interested in joining the morning crew, head on over to takeactioncrew.com and you'll get all the details over there. All right, guys. So that's it. That's going to wrap it up. As always, take care, take action, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye, guys.